Whoa, hello YouTube. I guess it's my first blog doing something that has to do with how I eat, and I think that it's important that I'm a cross-section of a particular style of diet that's arisen, so I wanted to just start it off by actually just showing what I got to eat. Look, I just went shopping, so I'll just go through, and the diet, of course, the diet it's in the description. Vegan ketogenic diet, and snake. So it's that, I don't. There's not a name. Don't beep at me. Did I say you could go beeping at me? I had to turn that speaker off. So I think that the diet, it's a phenomenon. It's not just a regular, it's not just another diet that's arisen. It's not I mean, this is a way of life. It's a way of life. And I think that it's worth mentioning that. And if I did call it a diet, though, I'd call it the Immortal diet. I mean, that's really what anyone who's doing this understands about it. It's just, if hopefully I didn't break any cans open. I mean, it's basically, some people have done so much research and thought about aging and health so much that they're just, what's the word? Ravenously researching, just doing so much research, and so you land on what amounts to you're doing the snake diet, and for your one meal a day, it's a vegan ketogenic meal. So now, with that said, I am a terrible immortal because I actually bothered to buy some things that I shouldn't. And that's because some days I just give myself carbs. I'm just like, it's a carb day, and so first I'll show my mistakes. This is bread, and I'm not going to eat the whole loaf. And what I'm going to do is I make hummus. It's hummus with macadamia nuts, and so it's a very keto-friendly hummus. And if you don't know, you should go look at the vegan ketogenic diet. There's a video online about, is this okay for keto, and hummus is fine for particular reasons. Low glycemic, and it does a weird thing in your gut, and yeah, find the science somewhere else. But put some of that hummus with macadamia nuts. It's even more keto because the macadamia nuts is basically, it's like a perfectly balanced keto food. I would say that for vegan keto, if you're not doing macadamia nuts, I don't know how you're doing it, unless you're living on coconuts, which incidentally I partly am. So I constantly consume coconut cream. I just went shopping, and it's really hot out in Vietnam today, so it's a little bit hot. Here's some tofu. Let's just fridge that. Put some tofu. I don't have any room in my fridge. There's some things that shouldn't even be in there. Someone else's things. Here's some chilies. I'm going to put this in hummus. I'm going to put that in the hummus. I'm lazy, so I bought a bag of pre-peeled garlic. It doesn't get much more lazy than that. I'm gonna fridge that because I think it's wise to. My diet's not, it's not the Immortal diet. It's like going towards the Immortal diet. Like, I'm not perfect at it, and I make there's little mistakes that I make. I just went out and bought sea salt. It's the good shit. Pink is better apparently, but sea salt is at least superior to the iodized bullshit. Here's some. Wow, they smell good. I don't know what these are. They're something like a lemon or a lime. And you're gonna say, oh, they're a lime. They're obviously, no, they're not. They taste more like a lemon than they do a lime. It's some fruit in Vietnam. I don't know what the fuck this is. But I think it's a lemon. I think it's just like a green lemon. But yeah, so that's an important part. I bought this. So what I do for my soup is, not that, I do a can of coconut cream, which is extremely high in fat. It's also extremely high in saturated fat, but there hasn't been a whole lot of research, in particular, on coconut saturated fat, and I have a suspicion that it's a little bit different than eating. And I've done lots of research, and every time I look up research, it's that the saturated fat is always done on, I'll close that for now, is always done on animal products. It's never done with just exclusively vegan, and so I don't really trust the results too much. I am looking skinny. I've lost a lot of fat. I need to start working out a little more. You can't see it, but I look like an emaciated underwear model underneath these clothes. It's beautiful. So, I do a can of tomatoes, a can of coconut cream. I dump in a bunch of chia seeds. I use rapeseed oil. If you don't know, a lot of people are like, oh, coconut oil. No, coconut oil is basically trash, other than the fact that it has MCT, and you might make an argument that it gets you into ketosis faster, whatever. Otherwise, it's the same as all the other shit, except actually it's worse in some cases, but there's lovely myths that love to go around about that one. Olive oil is not as good as you think it is. The omega ratio is completely fucked. In fact, let me just put it this way, not that anyone should really be consuming oil. From what I understand, it's terrible. However, whenever I do eat it, I eat it with an aspirin, and there's plenty of research at this point to suggest that if you eat an aspirin, you can actually completely mitigate the inflammation effects of oil. So, if you don't mind eating aspirin all the time, then oil might be okay. Back to my original point. The rapeseed oil has the best omega ratio out of all the oils. It's about 50% omega-3s to omega-6s. Everything else is worse, and some things are astronomically worse, like actually I even think olive oil is one of those ones that has huge, terrible ratios of omegas. It's like I think it's like the walnut, where basically people just sell you they sell you the oh, it's high in omega-3s, but then they don't tell you that it's extremely high in omega-6s. So yeah, walnuts are trash, most oils are trash, olive oil, even rapeseed, it's the best, but even its ratio is fucked because it's 50%, which means you have to make it up by using a chia seed or something. Again, you shouldn't be consuming oil at all. What I do in that soup is I will put these greens, and I will put these greens. It doesn't matter what greens they are, just get dark leafy greens and throw it in. That's essentially what I'm doing. I just go to the store and I'm like, whatever, you know, they don't have spinach or kale in Vietnam, so I'm like having to look at these other things, and to be honest, they all kind of just taste like leaves to me, just like I'm eating leaves. But when you put it in that soup, oh, it's delicious. I use a little bit of parsley, but that doesn't do anything. I use a lot of black pepper. I use chili. I use rosemary. That's what really does it, and basil. I put in salt. Last time I used a little bit of umami seasoning, which I'm not sure really noticed a difference. If you don't know what that is, it's MSG. I don't know if it's very good for you, but I wanted to try it just in case. I just bought baby carrots because I want to dip them in the hummus. And that's the other thing is, you know, this terrible bread. It tastes good, but obviously it's carbo loaded. If you have hummus and you're doing a carb day, you can just spread hummus all over that bread. That is what I plan to do. Another big no-no, oats. However, so when building muscle, and you can absolutely basically stay in ketosis, but if you do about 1/4 of a cup unsweetened oats, what you want to do when you're building muscle on a ketogenic diet is you want to, right after you work out, you have a post-workout, and that post-workout is carbohydrates, and you want them to be sort of faster acting. They told me to get rolled oats anyway. I'm going to try that. Last time I used a different kind, and so yeah, that doesn't matter. Here's another thing. I've just been craving watermelon, and again, it's my carb day soon, so better to use fresh fruit than something else. I just bought 2 avocados. 2 avocados for about less than $3. The price in Vietnam it's good. It's not terrible. It's not excellent. I bought some chili flakes. I don't know what I'll do with that, but cinnamon. I use cinnamon in my coffee to sweeten it. I use cinnamon in everything. More black pepper. Again, this is actually, this is my worst buy. Maybe. I think this is my worst buy. No, the bread is. But second, or maybe actually worse than the bread, is this juice. On the other hand, it is no added sugar. It's pear, grape, mixed berries, blueberry, raspberry, cranberry, and mulberry. What the fuck is a mulberry? So at least the juices in there they're just good fruit juices. At the end of the day, I don't really think it's something that I should be consuming a lot of, so it will go very slowly. Yeah. So that, I think, concludes my concludes my video with the vegan ketogenic, the Immortal diet haul that I obviously fuck up. So I don't always fuck up, but hey, you know, I'm still developing this process, and there's other people online who are doing the same diet. And I mean, we are lab rats. We're experimenting with something that nobody has ever done. Nobody's had a good reason to do. But, you know, all the science is compiling, and for me, like others, Amun-Ra started me, and if you could see, I have just well, I can just show you. It's like an unreal cabinet of those supplements, and ginkgo biloba, and glutamine, and carnosine. I still need to go out and buy steroids, lots and lots of steroids. No, I still have to go out and buy potassium and carnosine, but yeah, I've been kind of on this journey for. I've been on the journey to trying to age slower and have good health and maintain my body for 2.5 years. So I know this beard makes me look old, but I'm some kind of age. I just got this hat. I'll be 31 in July. So it says captain on it. That's why I got this hat, actually. So yeah, you know, and do I feel like it's working? Yeah, actually, the first thing I did was switch to the almond raw diet around when he sort of came out. I saw his video when it came out, and I was like, I'm gonna do that with the high carb, 1 meal a day type of thing. I got way bigger than I am now because I was working out like crazy. My room's kind of small. I was still in America at that time, or the U.S. And this fucking hat. So I know this video is getting long. I hope it's not too terrible. So yeah, I did that. Maybe I'll talk about it some more in another video sometime. Maybe I should have some kind of like signature or trademark. I'm not sure. Shirt was really cheap. It would cost a fortune in the US. It's dry fit and everything. What to say? I have a lot to say. Oh, just before I go, I want to say that I only started doing the ketogenic thing about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks, okay? I don't keep track of time, I'm on vacation. So, maybe it's been a month, I'm not sure. So, yeah, the ketosis, I was stunned, absolutely stunned at the effects of ketosis, that my body feels so much more endurant, and my mind feels sharp and quick in a way that was only achievable in the past through I want to say stringent, but I'll just say like strict meditation regimes, which I am doing pretty regularly lately. I meditate a lot. I'm trying to do some yoga, but I suck. I'm just lazy as fuck. Like that's like my curse, is like I'm really lazy. My entire life has been a workaround to make things easier. That's my passion, just making things easier. So it's a little bit ironic that I chose a vegan ketogenic snake diet because it doesn't get much more restrictive than that. It's really, you've got to know your shit. If you didn't do a mountain of research, then you'll die. And so, you know, I think that's a product, though, of just having a lot of time, I guess, to sort of do that research. Whereas the common, I think the average person really doesn't just accidentally start stumbling down a rabbit hole of health and fitness and land there. I think most people don't have time for that shit, so yeah, save the animals, and I mean like whales and stuff. No, the other kind. The other kind. I really was on the pirate kick, and that's why I got this hat. Like, I was just like, you know, I just want to be a pirate. It, you know, a little bit. Like, I just kind of want to be a pirate. And so, you know, if I can't be a pirate, at the very least I can buy a captain hat and sort of get that feeling a little bit. Yeah, so I hope that as far as a cross-section of the vegan keto fasters that, that I've provided something helpful. Buddha on my wall. It's legal in Vietnam. It's not legal in Thailand, so with that said, maybe I'll go to Thailand and throw this away, or you know, just give it to someone who will appreciate it. Yeah. Well, I think that 21 minutes is about long enough. So keep making. No. So I'll just talk to you later. I'll find some catchphrase or something.